February 2025, I've reached a serious crossroads with regards to my next steps. I feel like in life, you need to authentically be yourself. And sometimes people are going to try and categorize you and put you into a box. You can't do this, or you're good at this, you're good at that. You yourself know everything that you're good at and what you're not good at. And you know your strengths, and you know the impact that the things you've done have had on people and on yourself. What I'm saying is you need to stay true to yourself, but that's not what I'm going to talk about too much today. So right now, the dilemma I'm going through is what to do next with my business. Do I stay in door-to-door? Do I go into something else? Have I maxed out door-to-door? Have I maxed out all the potential I can reach? Probably not. Is door-to-door the right vehicle for me and the goals that I want to reach? Right now, I've been thinking probably not. But then it's conflicting. Everybody should be aware, everyone going into business or entrepreneurship or just any kind of leap in life, you should all be aware of the emotional cycle of change. I might do a completely separate video on this, but it's a graph like this. It's what's it called? Like binomial curve? I don't know. I'm not a mathematician, but it's a curve. So when you first start a business, you start with informed optimism, which means you're really excited to go. Everything seems so amazing, and you're going to make all this money, and you're going to be really successful, and you it's like the honeymoon phase. You think everything's great. Okay? That can last a little while, and that can be prolonged. Then you're going to go down the curve once you get to something called uninformed uninformed optimism, and then you go down to uninformed pessimism. Once you realize that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, things are actually going to be hard. You're not just going to get given all this money on a plate. You're not going to get everything that you've desired straight away. And that's something that I had to learn harshly over the past year with the door-to-door sales agency. Nothing's as easy as it seems. I learned that, started the business in February, probably was in uninformed optimism until about July. And then July is when the pessimism started to creep in. So then as time goes on, you understand the business more, you understand how things work, you understand it's not going to be that easy. And then pessimism starts to creep in. As pessimism continues to take over, sometimes you're going to reach what's called the valley of despair. The valley of despair is where most people are going to quit. I learned this from Hormozy. He's done multiple videos on it, done it multiple times. I watch a lot of Hormozy stuff. He's really helped, because when you have someone with that much wisdom, it's really good to learn from and apply things to your own life. But yeah, the valley of despair is where most people quit. And I'd say for me, that was about October time. That's when everybody was demotivated. That's when loads of people were dropping like flies. That's when I was doubting things myself, and that was a real low for me. So then when I took the steps to go to an installer, so we have uninformed optimism, uninformed pessimism around July, valley of despair around October, and then you can only really go up from there. So then I went back into informed optimism. Once we secured the new contracts with the good installers, once we knew that things were going to be more under my control, and I could take an impact in making things work. Now we're in informed optimism. Things are looking much, 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 much better. I think I skipped out a step on there. I think it goes informed pessimism and then informed optimism. But anyway, I think at a point now, I've been through all of the cycles. But as of recently, I've been hit with a big wave of like, is this even what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm 23, at the prime of my life force. I feel like I've maxed out everything that door-to-door can give me. If the fulfillment was on my side, last year I would have made $1 million. I'm working on getting those deals fulfilled now. So I should make a good bit of money from that this year. The original guys that I worked with, obviously a couple of them that I trained and then went on to be managers, they're doing well, really well. I'm very proud of them and happy for them. And they're honestly, they're on par with me, and they've got great ideas, and we work really well together. They're like partners now. Others have left, and a lot of the original crew have left, and the people that are remaining from the original squad, they're just not the same. They I don't know. It's really hard to regain a culture that you once had with people that have been through all the mud. If they're genuinely unless they're genuinely want to go after it. People's actions don't always align with their words. People sell you this dream about themselves. Oh yeah, I want to do this outside. I want to go make $1 million. I want to go, I want to retire my family. I want to go help everyone. I want to go travel. I want to do all of this. And then they're sat at home doing none of the things that they said they were going to do. And obviously, as an owner, and a leader, you're going to realize that is mainly your fault. But things can only be your fault to a certain extent. And this is what I'm coming to now. I'm at the point where it's 2025, and I genuinely believe that if you're someone getting new into business or new into sales or new into increasing your confidence and competency and all of these things, there's actually no better vehicle than door-to-door. You can make a lot of money doing it. You're going to handle rejection face to face. You're going to be completely commission based, so all the work's on you. You're going to learn unmatched work ethic. You're going to learn leadership. You're going to learn recruitment. You're going to learn how to maintain your own emotions and your own attitude. And I've learned invaluable skills this year. I'm a fucking monster now, for real. I genuinely, compared to who I was in 2023 and anything prior to that, I'm an absolute weapon of a person. Not in an arrogant way, just the way that I've developed myself through all of the experience and the struggle and the hardship and the wins and just competency. Within 8 weeks, I became the best seller in the country, and then had a team of 8 under me. With it, by a few months after that, I started my own business, and I had 35 people working with me. And we were doing record numbers. We were genuinely the best sales team in the country. We just didn't have the fulfillment. So now you learn from these things. You learn what to do next. But I'm at a point now where I think, is it worth me continuing doing this? Or do I take all the skills and the knowledge and work ethic and all of these things, do I take it into a different vehicle? Because it's 2025, we're living in a digital age, we're living in a digital gold rush, and I know how to sell to people face to face, but what if I need to go conquer something else now? What if I can let things run, make sure all of our deals get installed, the ones that we've done over this past year, and go and build something meaningful? Because when I was sat down and thought about this the other night, I thought, what am I good at? Like, I wouldn't just go and just randomly do e-com now, or go and do trading now. It doesn't make sense. I feel like I've developed all of these skills for a reason. I've got good at speaking. I've got good at managing people. I've got good at influencing people. I've got good at helping other people make their lives better, because everybody who's worked with me, even the ones that went through the struggle, they've become a better person. They've become more resilient. They've learned sales. These people, so many of us, we had no skills to that regard. Like, sure, some of us went to uni and all of that, but we didn't know how to sell. We didn't know how to speak to people. We didn't know how to manage people. We didn't know how to do these things. And we've seriously developed ourselves. Some of them still have a way to go in terms of management and leadership and all that stuff. They just focus purely on the sales. So that needs to be maxed out. And if you're watching this and you don't have skills like this, and you're at a crossroads as well, genuinely, I'd suggest door-to-door sales. You get into a community of like-minded people, hungry people, killers that want to go and crush everything that they get into. And the community aspect has been massive for us. But when the community isn't the same, and I feel like I've maxed things out in my regard, I'm wondering, is this the right vehicle? A lot of people have been telling me, you're in the wrong vehicle. Even my parents, and take my parents' advice with a pinch of salt, because it comes with a lot of love, but they've not walked the path that I'm walking. They've not done entrepreneurial stuff. They've not... Obviously, my dad's had really big ambitions. He came from Pakistan and studied in Afghanistan to become a doctor during the war, and then came here and made a better life for all of us, and we'll always be grateful for that, alhamdulillah. But it's not been entrepreneurial. It's still been by the book. They still massive risk taker. That must be where I get it from. But not many people have walked this path. And when I talk to other people in business, people that I admire in business, they tell me that this is probably not the right vehicle right now. That was mainly when I talk about the order fulfillment, how things weren't getting installed. And then other people that I've spoken to that are more established in the corporate world, they're talking about how this is more of a bottom of the barrel thing. And that's kind of true. This industry is full of many rats. The industry that we're in, a lot of scammers, a lot of uneducated people. Still some good people. I've met some really good people, really smart people. But I feel like there's more to life and more to offer with my skill set that I can achieve. And I don't want to put myself in this box of like Hassan, door-to-door guy, when I know that that's not me. I can genuinely massively impact people's lives. I'm thinking, what do? I want to help people, anyone watching this, to do what I've done, because now the money's going to start coming in. You guys aren't going to have anything to discredit me about. The money should be coming in soon, inshallah. We're working on it now. It's starting to get better already. That's going to be good. And I have the ability to influence people and make their lives better. Because that's the great thing about this business, door-to-door. As the more money that you help someone else make, the more money you make as a manager or a leader or an owner. And I want to be able to have that same opportunity with something else. I'm thinking, maybe do I get into high ticket sales again, take over that industry and build sales teams doing that? Because that's very doable. I've already got the experience there, and to master a new skill set would be amazing. And then I want to do what I can with this personal brand as well. I really get my reach out there, because I want people... The reason I make these videos is because I want people to see I'm just a normal guy. Like, I'm not been super poor upbringing, like just middle class. My dad was a doctor, my mum's a teaching assistant. And there was things we couldn't have in life, but it'd be better than sitting in flipping Pakistan. Or we weren't on no council estate either. We had a decent life, decent upbringing, but I've got that fuel and that hunger for more. And I want people that watch this and see my content to have that hunger for more, because there's so much you can achieve in this life. It all starts with you, though. I don't want to also be put in this box. This is one thing that's concerning me. I'm wondering, these thoughts that I'm having, if it's just another valley of despair, or I'm thinking to jump ship when the time's right. Because I don't want to be the guy that gives up when things get hard. Because I've never been that guy, especially not over the last year. And I'm just wondering if it's shiny object syndrome that I'm going through, or if it's time to master a new skill and go into a new craft. I might have to do both. This is the other option. Continue to build this to the point where it's completely automated, and build the next thing on the side, because I have the time and I have the capacity to do it. Other people won't have the stress tolerance and capacity to do it, because that's what it comes down to in life. A lot of it comes down to your stress tolerance, how many things you can take on at once, how much growth can you squeeze in one time, how hard will you work to achieve your goals. And by the hours that I've worked, it's unreasonable that it's unreasonable for me not to achieve my goals. I should have 7 figures by now, and what worries me is that I don't yet, because of that, because of the issues from last year. Regardless, wealth comes in many forms. Your risk comes in many forms. and now I've got the knowledge and the wisdom to take with me into whatever opportunity I go into next. But one thing that's been stinging me a lot is the time that I lost and the impact that I had on others. Because when we were first starting this, some of the commissions, I was paying guys like 500 quid per deal. If they did 10 deals per week, they were making 5k a week on paper, because it would all dependent on if the deals got installed. And I look back now, I said this to one of the guys who, my close friends I was working with. I said, I feel like I've just let a lot of people down. Because I genuinely believed in my heart that they would get this money. And I know it might have been naive, but like on paper it added up. I was like, right, they're going to make 5k a week if they do 10 deals. And then 10 deals was not a normal thing, by the way. 10 deals is what I started getting when I started becoming the best seller in the company. My first company, 10 boilers a week was very scarce, and I was smashing that. So I was like, right, if I'm teaching these guys, they can do that and more. So I used to tell these guys, shoot for the moon. And they started getting 10 deals a week. And then by the end of it, when we started throwing in different products with it, they were getting 17, 18, 20 deals a week. And I felt like I was selling a dream. When I was deep in this, I was like, all right, well, if you make 20 deals a week, you might make 5, 6k a week, all that kind of stuff. And I felt like I was selling a dream. So it was really taking a toll on my mental. The past 2.5 days have been a bit fucked up, I'll be real. Just contemplating everything. Like, have I wasted my time? Have I ruined these people's lives? Have I made the wrong decision? Am I in the right vehicle? I spoke to him about it, and he said no, because my belief and my conviction allowed them to achieve things that they've never achieved before and become people that they've never become before. And money or not, we've built a community of strong brothers that we know are now competent and can be with us for life. And genuinely, money or not, the money's coming now, but they've still achieved that. And they would not, like I've just said, they wouldn't have achieved that before. I've pushed new boundaries, we've pushed new limits, and we've learned a lot of lessons along the way. So some people might have resentment. I had a bit of resentment, but I think that anyone in this life, whether you're working for someone else or you're the boss, you need to take self-accountability. You have to take self-accountability, and that's the thing. As for the next steps, it's to be decided. It's a lot to think about. One thing I have learned is because I take so much action all day, all the time, that I don't allow myself to think that much, and that might have been a bit of a downfall, because I'm just trying, I find problems in my brain and I work all day to fix them. Got very good at problem solving. If you get into sales, get into business, you'll get very good at this. But sometimes you need to sit and reflect about if what you're doing is actually right, if it's actually working, and what would be the alternative if you weren't going to do that anymore. And now I'm thinking, is this the right vehicle? Is there an alternative that might be better? Because I've always wanted to transition our guys into high ticket sales. That was the plan. I wanted everyone to get really good at the sales, the door-to-door, build their own sales teams as well within the business, and then we go and conquer another industry, high ticket sales. So that may well be the move. As of February 2025, filming this, that may be the move. All I know is right now, one thing that I've also learnt is I think very long term. Because I like to know where I'm going so that I can then break it down and achieve it. But sometimes I try and run before I can walk. Before making 10k a month, I'll aim for 100k a month. And it's good because it makes me work like a dog. But I think one thing, invaluable thing that I've learned is to take things in steps, break it down into steps. And I know I do that, but genuinely do it. I say that I'll do it, but I'm always shooting forward, and it's just my ambition. Sometimes it overrides me. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but you need to stay level-headed. You need to reflect on where it is that you're going, how it is you're going to get there. So right now I'm thinking about high-ticket sales. I'm probably thinking 6 months down the line. Right now I need to figure out order fulfillment, recruitment for the business, and increasing our sales volume for the time being whilst I'm figuring out the next steps. That's what needs to be figured out right now, not the 6 months down the line high-ticket sales thing that I'm thinking of. Right now, small, manageable steps is what's going to take you far. But don't ever, ever, ever lose sight of the overreaching goal. And don't let anyone tell you you're working too hard. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not going to achieve these things, or just don't let anyone's beliefs corrode your own thoughts and your own ambitions, because you know yourself better than anybody. You know yourself what you want to achieve. You should know yourself better than anybody, and you know why you make the decisions you make. You need to learn things at your own pace, because no matter how many times people will try and tell you themselves, it's not gonna stick until you've learned that lesson yourself. People always tell me, don't get excited about money you don't have. And me, when I'm counting the on-paper installs that I'm making for my team, I was like, oh my God, we made 50, 60K this week. Oh, I'm making 200K a month. And then it didn't materialize. And then now, recently I felt the sting. But I wouldn't have learned that lesson just from someone else telling me. It's very rare that you'd learn the lesson yourself. But yeah, anything you want in life, you can achieve it. But it comes at the cost of skills, comes at the cost of knowledge, it comes at the cost of action, comes at the cost of competency, showing up every single day, no matter what, and giving it your all. No 50-50 effort, no, oh, I'm going to do it later. I don't even want to film this video right now, but I thought, when else am I going to have more of a raw, when else am I going to have a more raw video of me talking about this than when I'm feeling like this, feeling this way? So I had to film it. Yeah. Sometimes take on the advice that other people give you, but know that it's all within you to change things. It's all within you to learn things yourself, and then enact whatever conclusions you've come to. So I'm going to be pondering over this. I'm going to ponder out my plan. I'm going to find my flow. I'm going to make these videos better for you as well, more value. And I'm going to have a big 25. It's going to be a massive year. A lot of things are going to change. I'm going to become better. Every week I'm going to become better. I'm going to keep sticking to my wake up time, 6 a.m. Might get earlier. I'm going to keep focusing on the skill sets that I need to grow. And you should do the same. It's the only way we'll succeed, brother. Yeah. Don't let people put you in a box that you haven't decided. One thing that I was going to touch on as well, so I said skills, knowledge, competency, all that stuff is very important, but the theme of this video has been the vehicle. When you're first getting in to something, you need to learn the bare necessity skills. So for me, it was door-to-door sales, but now I'm qualified in door-to-door sales. I'm running a business, I'm managing people, I'm leading people, I'm recruiting people, I'm handling payroll and time efficiencies and everything. So now I believe that I could go into another business and execute effectively, but I just need to figure out if this is a decision I'm making from the valley of despair, or if it's a decision I'm making that's best for my future. Something I'm going to ponder over on and figure out. But yeah, stay hard. David Goggins, stay hard. Stay pushing. Keep pushing towards your goals every day. I don't know it doesn't matter what stage you're at. It doesn't matter if now you're just getting into the gym, you're only just starting to get up earlier, or you're only just starting to work hard, or just starting to learn a skill. Doesn't matter where you're at, just keep pushing. If you're at level 100 or level 10 or level 5, it doesn't matter. Keep pushing, because you're not going to achieve what you want without pushing the limits and pushing momentum every day. Okay, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll keep you in check, you can keep me in check, and we're going to keep pushing hard this year and make 2025 one to remember. Right, love you boys, take care.